Then how do you create the looks for period pieces?
Look, a huge period in particular, but a huge part of look in general comes from really good costume design and production design and makeup and hair. That, to me, that's like I'm the last link of the chain. If what is in front of the camera doesn't look good, there's nothing I can do. So you hopefully all of those people are approaching a project from the same perspective. And again, that is to a large extent the director's responsibility, I think, is curating those people's tastes or steering them in a direction to make sure that everything looks consistent. And then I can have a conversation with someone like Jen Starzik or Trish Somerville, costume designers, and we can look at tonal palettes and we can look at these are the tones we're thinking of. For example, we have a scene in the second season of Mindhunter in a church. It's a big community meeting in a church. And Jen and I sat down and she was showing me all the costumes she was going to dress the extras in because we wanted that scene to have a very monochromatic feel. And that wasn't my decision or her decision. It was something we came to together, but we looked at it together. And that's a huge part of it, I think, is opening up the dialogue and having the conversation and being open to everyone else's ideas and looking at something and saying, okay, this works, this doesn't work. And those relationships are super important to me. Like Trish Somerville on Mank, we were super close. We talked every day and she would shoot me photos of what they were dressing people in and we would talk about it. And those things inform lighting choices I'm making too. It's, hey, this is what Gary's wearing today. Okay, great. We're going to light it. Okay, great. He's wearing a hat. Awesome. Good to know. So that's crucial. And then the color stuff and you have conversations with art directors and production designers around color and windows and size of windows and if there's blinds and those sorts of things. But shouldn't leave out the set decorator. They're equally important. Really crucial to have those conversations and about where practicals are and all that stuff. And all of that has to come from somewhere though. And usually, at least with the way I like to work, is some sort of visual reference, whether it's a film or paintings or photography or combination of both. I like to make a lookbook of just as a way to illustrate how I'm approaching something. And then you can send it to a costume designer, production designer, director. Hey, this is what I'm thinking. And in the case of David, send him a lookbook and he'll approve or disapprove. He's, I like this, I don't like this, I like this, I don't like this. What about this? Let's look at these pictures. Or I have my own images, let me send them to you. And then we curate it together. And then it leads to a shorthand that you develop over the course of the process.
What are your thoughts on using different formats or cameras to highlight different sections of a film?
Playing with mediums is amazing. We did stuff, I shot some episodes of Legion and we'd shoot some scenes anamorphic and some scenes spherical, for example. Yeah. We played with the aspect ratio all the time on that show. That was something, it was a situation of coming into a show where the Dana Gonzalez and Polly Morgan had developed a look which is super cool as a DP to come in and experiment a little bit. And you see what someone else has developed and you get to build on it and borrow from their art. That's part of the job. I don't always agree with the choices, but that's the nature of anything creative. It's not specific to that show, but in other instances of that in cinema, I think there's places where it's used with great taste and there's places where it's exploited. And that's just the reality of the risk you take when you make a creative choice.
Would you instead join a project later when everything is set up? Or would you build it from the ground up?
My favorite part of the process is the empty sketch pad with the director and the production designer. That's by far my favorite. So you get the script.
Yeah.
And you sit down that first time and you have an empty notepad and you get to start drawing or you start Googling images or pulling out an art book or whatever. And so that's the ideal for me, but it's equally interesting and fun and creatively challenging to go into something. It's like shooting second unit. I've shot second unit for multiple DPs in the past. You go, you observe the style, you watch dailies. Oftentimes you haven't been on the movie from the beginning. You come in for a couple weeks here or there, or you shoot a few days of inserts, or it depends. But that's a cool situation to be in. Is you come in, you're like, oh, okay, what filtration are you using? What's your palette? What's your lighting technique? You have to change your style a little bit and bend to another tune, which is healthy.